Hi guys, welcome back. It's Lorelei or Maddie, and today I'm back with chapter 6 of Murder Trending by Gretchen McNeil. Let's get right into it. For the first time that day, Dee felt a glimmer of hope spark to life deep inside of her. Yeah? Blair opened her mouth to elaborate, but something in the corner of the shop caught her eye. Dee followed Blair's gaze and saw that the red dot inside the cameras had come to life again. "Keep your head down for a few days," Blair said. Her voice was no longer a whisper, but full and loud. "The fans have the attention span of a goldfish. By the time they've swum around the bowl, they've already forgotten the other side." "Right," Dee said, pulling her eyes away from the camera. "Thanks." She realized that Blair was just being kind, and that and had there been something else, some other insight Blair had been about to share before she had seen that the cameras were back on. "There were people who had been surviving here longer than you realized. Was there a trick to ask? No. Was there a trick to Alcatraz 2.0 that Blair had figured out?" Dee had made a mental note to bring it up again, maybe when she and Blair were alone, maybe when they were away from the cameras. Or was that even possible in Alcatraz 2.0? "Shall we head home?" Niles asked as he re-emerged from the back room. He had a small backpack slung over his shoulder. "It's getting rather dark outside." "Did you tell Princess that she'll have to take the opening shift?" Griselda zipped up a brown suede jacket as she followed him. "I don't wake up before noon." "You'll be here at 10 as usual," Blair said. "Both of you." Griselda clicked her tongue. "You're making me train her?" "It's an ice cream parlor. What is there to train? How to scoop a perfect ball of gelato while avoiding a maniac's booby trap?" Before Blair could answer Griselda, the door to Ice Cream flew open and a buff black guy with a shaved head burst into the shop. He practically had to turn sideways to fit his bulked up arms through the frame. Despite the chill in the air, he wore only knee-length athletic shorts and a sleeveless lycra shirt that hugged the outline of his well-developed chest muscles. "Dudes, let's motor," he said. I bet the douche control's gonna be out in full force tonight after Slayer got done by a..." He froze, eyes locked on Dee. "You killed the Slayer." "Ethan, meet Dee," Blair said. "She's your girlfriend's new coworker." "I'm not his girlfriend," Griselda said through clenched teeth. Ethan pulled back his chin. "You're not?" He didn't seem... He seemed 100% sure that he and Griselda were a couple. Griselda brushed past him into the street. "No." But instead of careful, crestfallen, Ethan just smiled and stuck his hand out towards Dee. "Hasta la visite." I totally butchered that. Baby. Dee awkwardly took it. That means see you later." Ethan's smile grew when he pumped her hand. "I know." Ethan likes to quote lines from action movies, Niles explained, eyeing Ethan's lingering handshake. I believe that one is from Predator? Ethan shook his head. Don't you have action movies in Australia? No, Niles said, totally deadpan, as he ushered them toward the door. Shall we? Dee waited outside as Blair cut the lights and locked up. Then together they began the trek up Main Street. Ethan walked at Griselda's side, occasionally attempting to slip a beefy arm around her waist, which Griselda discouraged by punching him in the chest. The postman likes to arrange relationships, Niles explained. He also controls our wardrobes, our jobs, where we live, scripted. Which makes perfect sense since we are the ultimate reality show. Except it's not like Survivor, Dee said. There's no way to win this game. Niles pursed his lips as he pondered her words. No, I suppose not. Dude, you're doing better than most, Ethan said, bouncing around to face Dee. He walked backward, keeping step. It's been a while since someone got one for our team. She is not on our team, Griselda said. We get it. You don't like me. Anyone who takes out the Slayer is someone I want on my side, Ethan said. Undeterred by his fake girlfriend's dissonant. That's why I keep myself in peak physical condition. He held up his fist and jabbed at the air while he danced around Griselda like a boxer in training. Gotta be ready to kick some ass with extreme prejudice, Ethan, Blair explained, was studying to be a personal trainer. That's something you study? Niles asked. Fuck yeah, dude. Ethan smacked Niles in the stomach with his flattened palm. These are your abs. They support your spine and shit. See? Study. Yes, Niles sputtered, bending slightly at the waist as he attempted to regain his breath. You're a vertible Hippocrates? And no, it does not say Hippocrates. It says Hippocrates. I don't know. Don't ask me. They turned from a bizarro Main Street, USA, into a tree-lined boulevard heading west towards the end of the island, hugging the dotted yellow line as they walked straight down the middle of the street. On either side, large open parks spanned the length of one block. One was set up with soccer goals at either end, the other with a softball diamond. The parks, Niles mused softly, are lovely. Can we hide out in them? Dee asked. Niles cocked his head. Why would you want to do that? Rule 6, Dee recited. When chased, run outside. I don't see any cameras in the park. Oh, really? He stopped and pointed at the batting cage around home plate. Do you see that bird? Daylight was rapidly departing, but against the darkening blue sky, Dee could see the black outline of a crow perched contently atop the metal structure, just like the one she had seen outside Slayer's warehouse. I see, Dee said. Oh, I see it, Dee said. Bird on the island, whoop-de-doo. Watch it as we pass. Dee kept her eye on the crow as they crossed by the park. It took a while for her to realize that its body seemed to follow them. She gasped, "It's a camera!" "Yep," Niall said. "Now tell me how many of them you see." Dee's eyes swept both sides of the street. Ethan, Griselda, and Blair were halfway down the block already, and everywhere Dee looked, she caught sight of a Crow camera, turning to follow them. On top of the street lights, fences, and power lines, even mounted on the side of a ruined concrete building. That one was pointed right at her. Dee could actually see the red light in the recess of its eye socket, signifying that they were being filmed. They were literally cameras everywhere, covering every inch of Alcatraz 2.0. She pictured the motionless crows perched on the roofs outside Slayer's warehouse. Those cameras had definitely been dark. Did the postman not want the public to see her leaving after she killed Slayer? "Just remember," Niall said, gazing out over the soccer field, "nothing bad ever happens on Alcatraz 2.0 without a camera close by." And now we read the comments. November 7th, 2:42 p.m. Darkness falls, moderator. Darkness falls across the land. I have an update from Central Command. Direct message from Postman Central Command. The temporary outage of channel feeds 13, 14, and 15 has been resolved. Full coverage restored. We apologize for the inconvenience. And then Ohioan 1989 question everything replied with, "Inconvenience? More like how convenient that the channel feeds outside the warehouses went dead right after hashtag Cinderella Survivor killed Slayer. Seems more likely that someone didn't want us to see what was going on after she killed him. Sorry, dude, but that reeks conspiracy." And then Dark Falls moderator responds with, "Ohioan, it is standard practice for the postman to cut off feeds outside the execution zone to prevent inmates from determining the exact location of the events. The fact that Central Command issued an official statement about an outage seems to point to an actual event rather than a conspiracy, since dark feeds after an execution aren't unusual." And then Ohioan replied with, "But killing an executioner is unusual. Whatever, believe whatever you want, dude." And then 123 podcast, "This is where I write something funny, right?" responded with hashtag Cinderella Survivor and hashtag Griselda, I want you in my pants. Both working at Ice Cream. I fucking love what the postman is doing, grouping the hotties together. And then the Griff, wide awake, eyes open, replied with, "Yeah, 123. But that's just another conspiracy. Don't you think it's weird that Alcatraz 2.0 suddenly has all these young, attractive, convicted killers around in the last 6 months? Don't you think it's weird that they intend to live longer than the revolving door of old dudes that we've been subject to for the last years? These people are actors. Slayer isn't dead. Hashtag Cinderella Survivor isn't actually some dumb teenager convicted of killing her stepsister. It's fake. All of it. Follow the ratings." 123 podcast responds with, "Griff, You might want to lay off the caffeine and the weed. Baby Etrix, Final Cut Pro over Mag X movie responds with, can someone swing by channel 43? Am I on crack, or is there someone climbing over the rock wall? Darkness Falls moderator responds with, Baby E, not on crack. It looks like some action. Sending out a view alert on the feed now. Thanks for the heads up. And that's the end of the chapter. Until next time, bye-bye.